Hi. In this video, I'm going to present Quantum Audio Time Stretch. Let's start the application. Quantum Audio Time Stretch, or simply Quantum, is a simple desktop application for Windows and Mac that does only one thing: time stretching audio files. To load an audio file, just drag and drop it in the input file list. Let's play this audio file using the play button. To time stretch the file, select the time stretch factor in the panel below. Here I am setting it to 130% of the length, which corresponds to about 75% of the speed. Then just click on the transform button. Let's hear the result by selecting the output file and clicking on the play button. As you can hear, this is the same music slowed down by 130%, and without any artifact. Before I continue with a more challenging sample, let's explore the settings of the application. The first tab lets you change the default transform and output settings that are applied to opened files. These settings can also be changed on a per file basis. This will be shown later. In the processing tab, you can change several settings, including the number of files that are processed simultaneously. This feature allows you to gain time when transforming multiple audio files or audio tracks on a multi-core processor. For the moment, I'll go to the Appearance tab, and choose the Hyper-B Dark theme. To many people, this will make the application look more hi-fi. Now let's open several audio files. Let's set the time stretch factor for all the selected files to 150%. If you prefer, there are many other ways of setting the time stretching factor. If I select the speed change option from the drop-down, I can choose the time stretching factor as a speed change. It is set to 66 because this is the speed change that corresponds to the length change of 150% I set earlier. In fact, the drop-down does not correspond to different parameters, but to different ways of specifying the time stretching factor, and changing it using any option will reflect the corresponding value in the other options. For example, if I now set the speed change to 80%, I can see that the corresponding length change is 125%. There are other options. For example, you can specify the change using source and target tempo, or using video source and target FPS. In the input file list, the third column always displays the time stretching factor as a length ratio. By moving the mouse over it, a tooltip also shows it as a length change and as a speed change. It is also possible to specify the time stretching factor for individual files. Here I'm changing it for a single file to 150% of the length. Once ready, select all files and hit the transform button to transform them all. Note that I was holding the shift key down while hitting the transform button, in order to keep the original files in the input file list. In all cases, the original files are never deleted from the disk. Observe that the application is transforming 4 files at a time using 4 CPU cores. I can now play an original file, and compare it with its transformed version. For the last part of this presentation, I will first start Tachyon. Tachyon is our reference time stretching implementation. Let's load a file and transform it twice. First at 250. And then at 130%. Now, let's go back to Quantum, and open the same file. This file is a difficult sample that has been used to benchmark and compare audio time stretching algorithms. Here I am going to slow it down to 250% of the length, which is a huge change. Observe that the slider only allows you to go from 50% to 200%. However, you can choose any value from 25 to 400 by typing it directly in the number field. Again, I'm holding the Shift key while pressing the Transform button in order to keep the original file in the input file list. The result is not bad, but can be improved. The transients, for instance, are somehow softened. So I am changing the transform settings. Here, you can change the transient sensitivity. I am increasing it a little. Now let's transform the file again with the new settings. As you can hear, there are some improvements on the transients. However, the transformed file still sounds somehow thin, or lifeless compared to the original. So I now change the quality setting. Let's push the quality to the maximum and transform the file once more. The default value of 3 gives a good trade-off between quality and speed. Lower qualities are very fast and are suitable for speech or quick previews. Using the maximum quality, the transformation is significantly slower and might not run in real time on all computers. The result is, however, definitely improved, as you can hear now. The question is, can we do even better? The answer is yes, using the Tachyon application. However, Tachyon is much slower than Quantum. As you can see, I started the transformation a while ago, and it's still not completed. However, the result is even better than Quantum. Remind though that we are using a very large change of 250%. Let's now transform the same file at 130%, which is more common. I'm first using the default settings, and then the maximum quality. I will play both results produced by Quantum, and then the result produced by Tachyon.
Sweet
As you can hear, for this relatively small change, there is almost no differences between Quantum and Tachyon, and between Quantum's default and highest quality. In fact, it is likely that YouTube's own audio encoding introduces more artifact than Quantum or Tachyon, especially if you are viewing this video at a low quality. So which one do you choose? Well, it's up to you. Tachyon is much slower, more expensive, and does not run in real time, but it almost always produces the best result, especially when large changes are involved. Quantum, on the other hand, is fast, and produces results that are very close to Tachyon when the time stretching ratio is in the 70 to 130% range. Although both algorithms are designed to work on any kind of audio sources, Quantum works best for small changes or with individual solo tracks. Tachyon, on the other hand, is specifically designed to transform complex mixes by any time stretching factor. For more information and to download demo versions of Quantum and Tachyon, go to tachyon-sonics.com. Thank you for watching, and enjoy music at any speed.